All my friends in New Zealand who are looking for the soon coming of our Lord Jesus Christ, if you're interested in having your understanding of the pre-tribulation rapture strengthened, I would recommend two books that I have written in the last couple of years for tools for your library and for your research. The first is 10 Potent Proofs for the Pre-Tribulation Rapture. You know, we often hear the claim that there is no verse or no passage in the Bible that teaches a pre-tribulation rapture. And I think this is a serious mistake. In this book, I present 10 distinct proofs for a pre-tribulation rapture. Some of the ones I cover are the fact that the 70th week is determined to be upon Israel. The scriptures are plain in that matter. We have the fact that when we look at the identity of the saints that are in the tribulation, we see Israel in the tribulation. We have the fact that the church is promised deliverance from the wrath to come. And we have, well, the fact that there's 24 elders in heaven who represent the church prior to the opening of the first seal. So that's 4 of the 10 arguments that are available. And if you purchase a copy of this book, you will find that it's going to provide you with a lot of tools, a lot of ammunition. It'll provide you with tools to understand the pre-trib rapture better, and it will provide you with a lot of ammo for those that like to attack the pre-trib rapture. The second book is called Recent Pre-Trib Findings in the Early Church Fathers. Now, of course, we often hear the claim that nobody taught a pre-trib rapture prior to Darby in the 1800s. Well, this is simply not true. This really is an ignorant soundbite. The fact is, many men prior to Darby, from the Reformation forwards, taught one version or another of a pre-trib rapture. And the fact is that many in the early church taught a pre-trib rapture. In this book, we take up the early church fathers' testimony. Now, I present testimony from the 1st century, from the 2nd century, from the 3rd century, and from the 4th century. So it's a pretty broad spectrum. Now, another interesting thing about this book is that the testimony from the 3rd century with Eusebius is testimony that I discovered myself. The Lord graciously allowed me to discover some unknown pre-trib rapture passages in the writings of Eusebius, and they're presented in this book. He also allowed me to discover some previously unknown pre-trib rapture passages in the writings of Ephraim the Syrian in the 4th century, and those are also presented in this book. On top of that, we have a fresh investigation of Irenaeus in the 2nd century, who makes a very strong case not merely for a pre-tribulation rapture, but also for a traditional dispensational position. He has the church removed before the tribulation, he has Israel in the tribulation, and then he has the second coming. So it's a very, very clear dispensational type position. And on top of that, we make a fresh investigation of the Didache from the 1st century. Many believe that the Didache was written while the Apostle John was yet alive. I think, well, the argument's probably not conclusive. It certainly stems from that area. So if you want to increase your understanding of the pre-trib rapture, if you want to have tools to help defend the pre-trib rapture, these two books will be a great blessing, a great addition to your library.